Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 South Dakota Hall of Fame inductee, Tony Bour.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Sarah, for leading me up to the stage. Congratulations to my fellow honorees, and thank you, Senator Johnson, for all your years of service to our country. This is a very humbling evening for me. And truly, it's beyond my wildest dreams. This recognition is something that I never had on my bucket list, and it's wonderful that I can share it with family and friends. People often ask me, where did I grow up? According to some of my friends, I haven't yet. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I was born on Friday the 13th. Once when my mother was really mad at me, she told me that I was adopted. And then she started to cry. And I said, "Mom, why are you crying?" She said, "They brought you back." If I had to choose one place to live for the rest of my life, it would be in South Dakota. And if we could just have global warming here in the winter, I don't think Lorraine and I would ever leave and go to Florida for the winter. Lorraine did dress me this evening, except for the hat. I mean, that was my idea. I think of it as whipped cream on a brandy Alexander. And that's my favorite drink. Let me get serious for a few minutes. People often asked, why and how did Showplace get started in 1999? Well, let's back up a little bit. In 1997, following 18 years of managing Starmark and 31 years managing cabinet companies, I was suddenly unemployed. But at age 60, I wasn't ready to retire. So I started to look for other things to do. I joined a commercial real estate company, got my real estate license, spent evenings and weekends building my business at Hunters Point Shooting Club, and I also started Sunstream International, building and selling beanbags. Sometimes hitting speed bumps isn't a bad thing. And in my case, getting fired the second time was one of the best things that happened to me in my working life. Jumping ahead to 1999, just 2 years after my abrupt departure from Starmark, I learned that 3 senior managers who were formerly with me at Starmark were no longer with the company. I reached out to this trio of friends, and to make a long story short, within a few months, we created Showplace Wood Products. Paul Sova, Emery Lee, Scott Corsten, please stand. Also, please stand Lorraine, Jill Sova, Carol Lee, and Marilyn Corsten. Please stand with your husbands and let everybody know that these were the wives that started planning with us on this high-stakes adventure. Now, how many of you remember Paul Harvey? Paul Harvey was famous for saying what? And now the rest of the story. In 2006, just 6 years old for Showplace, we became an ESOP company. And today, 100% of the company is owned by its employees. This employee stock ownership plan was created on behalf of the stakeholders, which included the investors, the employees, the customers, and the vendors. In 2008, Showplace and the cabinet industry were caught up in the devastating effects of the recession. Thanks to our management team, our dedicated employees, our loyal customers and vendors, we weathered the tsunami, we didn't have a layoff, and we didn't reduce any employee benefits. Fast forward now, Showplace is now celebrating 20 years, ranked 12th in the cabinet industry, over 600 employees, 3 manufacturing plants in South Dakota, over 700 dealers, doing business in all 50 states, and annual sales approaching 100 million. While thinking about what to share tonight, I couldn't help but just think about how my life has truly been blessed by God. I have a beautiful, wonderful, loving wife, loving, caring, thoughtful parents, fantastic family, gorgeous ladies, handsome dudes, and above-average grandchildren. I have awesome, fun-loving friends. I live in the greatest country in the world. I live in the best state in the United States. I've been able to start 2 cabinet companies in South Dakota. One is celebrating 40 years. The other is celebrating 20 years. I've been blessed to have created a great shooting club. The Showplace ESOP is truly a blessing. It's a blessing for me, and it's a blessing for our employees. We have second-generation managers that are supporting the company's culture, and they're taking it to the next level. I've been so blessed because I've had the opportunity to serve in leadership positions with 15 nonprofit boards. I have awesome memories and friendships that have been created for a lifetime. Finally, I was blessed with the idea to create South Dakota Salutes. This is a sponsored competition, and it's a salute to our first responders. We invite first responders to come out to Hunters Point for competition. And this year, this is our 4th year, and we're expecting over 400 first responders to come out and enjoy it. Thank you, family and friends, for tonight and for being such a wonderful part of my life. Thanks, too, to the members of the South Dakota Hall of Fame and the Inductee Selections Committee. Thank you all. Thank you, Lyle Schroeder and Miles Beacom.